Hello everyone, myself Vishwajit Shaha, working as one of the faculty member in the Department of Microbiology, Vijay Krishna Girls College, Howrah for the past 12 years. And in this video tutorial, we are going to describe about the scopes in microbiology. What are the scopes available after studying microbiology? So, what is microbiology? If we see the term microbiology, actually this can be differentiated into three parts. The first one is micro, second one is bio, and the third one is logy. What is micro? Micro means very minute particles. It may be bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa. They are unable to see under the naked eye, and that is why you require specific kind of instrument, whether it is microscope or whether you need to check their genome, say DNA or RNA, or you need to sequence their protein, whatever the amino acid present within the protein. You require specific instrument to render them visible or to understand them. This is called micro. Bio means life and logy means study. So as a whole we can say microbiology is the study of those living forms present in nature that are unable to see under the naked eye, and that is why we require specific kind of instrument to make them render visible. So now we need to know about what are the important applications of microbiology available today. The first is food and dairy. Actually, microbiology is available in every sense in today's life. For example, when you woke up in the morning, what we normally do? We take a brush, add a paste, and then we actually do whatever you want to do specifically in your morning. And whenever we are using that particular paste, whatever the paste may be, the paste contains fluoride ion. If you see the composition, you can see there is a fluoride ion, maybe hydrogen fluoride or sodium fluoride is available there. This fluoride ion actually inhibits glycolysis of the bacteria. So that means at the beginning of your day, whenever you are using some particle, whenever you are using some compound in the form of paste, it also involves microbiology, and from your morning till the night, whatever we are using, these are microbiology. And number one is the food and dairy microbiology. So the most wide application of microbiology is in food and dairy microbiology. For example, if you need to produce fermented food, you require several kind of microbes. For example, if you need to produce curd, so curd is produced from milk, and to produce curd from milk, what do we require? We require specific kind of microorganism like lactobacillus. It may be lactobacillus bulgaricus, lactobacillus casei, maybe streptococcus lactis, something like that. These are all microbes. So microbes can be used to produce curd, yogurt, okay, cheese, idli, sauerkraut. Many fermented food can be produced by the use of microorganisms. So in food and dairy industry, we can also use yeast for the manufacture of bread, also for ethanol, ethyl alcohol, that is we normally using in this pandemic situation. 70% ethyl alcohol we are using as sanitizer, or we are using actually ethyl alcohol in most microbiological laboratory as a disinfectant. So ethyl alcohol is produced under anaerobic condition by Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is also a microorganism. So these are the important role of microorganism in our daily life. In food and dairy industry, we can use several kinds of microorganism, and that is absolutely required. The second is environmental microbiology. Environmental microbiology. So environment means air, water, soil and food. So if you need to produce protein, protein is composed of amino acid. If you want to produce nucleic acid like DNA, RNA, if you want to produce phospholipid, these all things require nitrogen. Without nitrogen you cannot produce protein, nucleic acid and phospholipid, and this nitrogen is available in nature in huge concentration, about 78.03%. But no animal and plant is able to take up nitrogen from the atmosphere, only microorganism can. some microorganisms like Pseudomonas, Rhizobium, maybe Klebsiella, and many other Azotobacter, Clostridium, many other bacteria is able to take up nitrogen from atmosphere and fix either directly into the plant symbiotically or directly into the soil non-symbiotically, and so that plant can take up nitrogen from soil, and from plant we can take up nitrogen, and we can fulfill our nitrogen requirement by the help of these types of microorganisms. So there is a very important application of microorganism in environmental perspective. Third point is industry. So industrial microbiology. So in industry, whatever the industry it is, whether it is a water industry, you need a purification of water. Today, during global warming, there is scarcity of water, you need to purify water. So in water industry, we can use, we can trap different types of microorganisms, because waterborne microorganisms are very much pathogenic to us, and we need to control waterborne microorganisms. Okay, so in water industry, maybe in other industry, maybe food industry, maybe dairy industry, we are constantly using microbial life. Number 4, genetic engineering. So genetic engineering means we need to modify the sample, whatever we are nowadays available actually. So say a plant is not able to produce so much fruit, but they can grow very well. Another plant is not able to grow very well, but they can produce food. So by taking by hybridization of one plant with that of the another plant, or by hybridization between the genome of two different plants, we can actually manufacture a plant which is able to grow properly and which is able to fruit also. So nowadays genetic engineering is so much widely available. For example, we all know desert. What is desert? And in desert, the plants are able to maintain themselves in a high temperature, in a hot temperature, so that they cannot actually release water by transpiration. So if we actually take up that gene for resistant drought, that is responsible for drought resistant, and incorporate in your own plant, in that case, if you don't able to put water in your plant, they are still able to grow in a scarcity of water. So this is one of the important application of microbiology in genetic engineering. And the next point is the immunology. Immunology. In immunology, we need to produce antibody, because antibody is something that is produced by your B cell after antigen exposure, and antibody can be of only specific for only one antigen called monoclonal antibody. When an antibody is specific for a particular antigen, it is called monoclonal antibody. So by using monoclonal antibody, we can actually check whether a particular drug is present in a particular individual or not, whether a specific component is present in an individual, and if it is present, what is the actual concentration of the drug present in that individual. And also we can, by using monoclonal antibody, we can detect pregnancy, we can detect the antigen shedded in certain tumor, diagnosis numerous pathogenic microorganisms by using antibody, and we can also detect the tumor development. If it is tumor, whether it is a benign tumor or malignant tumor, we can also detect this thing. And we can also go for investigational microbiology. For example, coronavirus, we all know coronavirus is responsible for causes thousands of deaths nowadays. What is coronavirus? How it is made up of? Whether it is a spike protein is somewhat, now the spike protein is getting some changes from the previously we have encountered SARS or MERS. The COVID-19 is somehow different. In order to study them, in order to study their genome and the pathogenesis, we can actually understand the mechanism of action of this organism, and so that we can actually develop medicine to prevent them, to render them, to arrest them, so that the COVID-19 can be eradicated. So all of these things are actually associated with the microbiology. Now, after studying all of these things, what are the job applications, what are the job opportunities present? So If we go for job opportunities, the first thing that you must understand that after doing BSc microbiology, the first thing is after doing BSc, you are pursuing BSc, then you can go for MSc, then clear NET examination, national eligibility test, which is vital nowadays, and then you can go for PhD. So PhD, you can go for PhD, and ultimately via Public Service Commission or College Service Commission, via PSC or CSC, you can get into academics, and there is a healthy salary for this, maybe 50,000 K to maybe 60,000 K, between that at starting. So this will require a long time, because for BSc you require 3 years, MSc 2 years for NET examination. If you clear NET after say 6 months or something like that, after finishing MSc, then PhD requires 5 years. So as a whole, it actually requires 10 long years from now. And there is another way, that is you can go for ICMR NET. This is actually CSIR NET, and apart from the CSIR NET, ICMR or ICAR NET is also available, by which you can actually go to do different types of jobs, or maybe JRF, you can go for Junior Research Fellowship, and for this you can get 32,000 salary first, and when after 2 years, when you have converted into the Junior Research Fellowship to Senior Research Fellowship, the salary will be increased to 36K actually, not 32,000 K, 32K actually. So this is another thing. You can go for project assistant. Number 4, quality control. What is quality control? Quality control is nothing to check that whether your industrial product is good or not. It contains desirable amount of microbes or not, because if you want to produce curd, the curd must contain desirable number of good healthy microbes. If you need to produce probiotics, the probiotics must contain a definite amount of microbes. So you need to check this thing in water industry, chemical industry. You can get different types of jobs available, in pharmacy, in medicine also. Medicine. So not only the academics, but you can also go for research. You can go for project assistant as a quality control manager, and water industry, chemical industry, pharmacy, medicine, and different types of dairy industry is available, so that you can go and get a job there. And for this you require specifically to get a job in industry, you specifically require some additional course apart from the normal microbiology, such as in many colleges nowadays industrial microbiology courses available, maybe food microbiology course available. In Lady Brahman College, food microbiology courses going on. In Howrah Vijay Krishna Girls College, our college, industrial microbiology is carried on. So these actually additional courses gets an extra support in your CV, so that you can get the job. Hope I have cleared all of these questions about the scopes in microbiology, and what are the job prospects available in microbiology. And if you have any question, you can ask me.